friends, thanks for joining me today. It's been a while since I've done one of my garden videos. We're into early fall here on the east coast of the US, and I thought I would do a September garden check-in. If you're new to my channel, welcome to Heather at Home. So this summer has been pretty dry, and I've traveled 3 different times, and unfortunately, we didn't get rain during any of the times I was away, so things really started drying out. In addition, we've had 2 very long spells, including right now, of having no rain in our state, so my entire property is super dry. There are some things, however, that don't dry out, like these dandelions that grew up in between all of these pavers on my patio. Now let's get a look at this hydrangea. You know, there are certain plants that are pretty drought tolerant, and hydrangeas are not one of them. There are still some green leaves, so I think that the root system is okay and everything should be fine for next year, but it sure doesn't look very good. The Shasta daisies really dried out, mainly because they're in a container. The hostas look good. The Japanese fern took a big hit. This new hosta held up pretty well, despite it being in a container. Well, this isn't looking so hot. I can salvage the geranium, but I'll have to cut the other annual back. The lily still has some green leaves, and this dianthus is really hanging in, which is impressive. That Jacob's ladder didn't do well at all. Peony is starting to turn. Of course, creeping phlox, they make it through about everything. Now these grasses do turn gold at the end of the summer and through the fall, so I think they'll be fine for next year. Now this beard tongue made it through after I had cut it back in my last garden video and actually sent up a new spike of flowers. The David Austin rose. Oof. This did not do well at all. I'm looking and I'm seeing there are some green areas still, so I wouldn't define it as completely dead. I'll cut that back in a bit. The catmint is pretty dried out, but herbs are pretty hardy. This hydrangea that I transplanted in the spring looks really sad. And this other catmint, again, they do pretty well despite drought. These annuals up here are kaput. The Russian sage has really held on. It is drought tolerant. Herbs tend to do pretty well. This beard tongue has also made it through the dry weather. And look at this lantana. It is so vibrant. This has actually thrived and done better with dry soil. The coreopsis is coming to the end of its bloom season, but it did make it through. And this black and bloom salvia is so hardy. It's been sending up blooms this whole time. The sedum is looking pretty sad. It did bloom, but it's so spindly. I think I'm gonna have to move that in the spring. The coreopsis got so bushy, I think it's just really overpowered that sedum. Now the wallflowers have done so-so. They are still flowering, but they should be greener and healthier. I think they'll be fine for next year. This salvia is also coming to the end of its bloom season. It did send up one more. And the Phlox David, well, it hasn't fared so well. Nonetheless, it does have some remaining white flowers on it. Now get a look at this big grasshopper, I think, back here. Those are the new pink garden phlox I put in last year. They really dried out. Hopefully the root system will be okay. So time to get busy on this rose bush. I'm going to cut it down just like I would for the season. And as I'm doing that, I'm checking the branches to see if there are signs of life. And that's not completely dried out inside, so I think it will be okay. My objective at this point is just to protect the root system. Just going to clean this pot up. These are annuals. I'm not concerned about them reblooming next year, but I think I can get a second flush of flowers out of this geranium. So I'm going to cut back this unsightly dead stuff and pull off the old buds and yellowing leaves and stems, and we'll see how it looks in a few days. Time to give everything a good drink of water. Thank you so much for being here, friends. If you haven't already subscribed and you've enjoyed this video, please hit like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Have a great week, and we'll see you in the next video.